What is going on, and welcome back to Rebel Rescue with me, FoggyPlays on FM22. Today we're taking on Ferencváros in the Champions League second qualifying round, and we've had one game since, and unfortunately, we lost. But then again, we're playing games every 3 days, which is just insanity. My players are dying. Also, we've made a few signings and a couple of sales because we are still in our transfer window. So there's still potential for lots to be done. So if you do want to enjoy this episode, do make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Now let's get into the video. Right, fellas, so a win for us in today's episode will have us travelling to Red Star or HJK in the next lot of games, which it doesn't get any easier. It really does not get any easier at all. But like I said, a couple of transfers have been done. Joe O'Brien Whitmarsh is joining Drogheda on a free transfer. Oren Turner is off to UCD. Eddie Hamilton looks like he's off to Drogheda as well. But we have made a few signings, which fantastic. Federico Bonini has already made his debut coming in, and I think it was the same day came off the bench against Bohemians, which was it was shocking. I'll show you that result in just a second. Askell Emil Halsgaard is also after joining us. This is the guy that originally wanted insane money. So, as you can see, getting paid £600 a week. So all you had to do is just not have them on trial when you offer them a contract. And they severely drop everything. This guy can't dribble the ball to save his life, but he's got good marking, heading and tackling. Has absolutely zero composure. So I'm not going to pin my hopes and dreams on him. But I did kind of go a bit mental with letting players leave on loan. I don't know that I mentioned Marco Mani went to Derry for 30,000, end of contract, offered 30,000 for them to buy him, and they took it. So I got 30,000. I'm pretty happy with that. And we sent a bunch of players out on loan to Merview. Well, 2 players to Merview, 2 players to Everton, Ireland, and Gordon Walker has left for Finn Harps. So we're making a little bit of cash. I have kind of, unfortunately, I think I may have overloaded our wings ever so slightly with the signings that we've made. But like I said, did not go well against Bowles. Roy Quigley picked up a terrible injury, and you'll also notice that Predut, the Romanian goalkeeper, started. Prince picked up an injury the day before, so not ideal. Also, Colin Whelan was dead, so I started Cian Murphy. Could not score. 2 saves life. Pakpi started because Heffernan was suspended. Ornafriti played tremendously poorly, so makes sense that I have him starting. No, Tunde is going to start this game because I had forgotten. My players were exhausted, so I sent a couple of them off for a rest. I'm hoping that we're able to make up for what we've been doing and just get back into good form. Nordstrand had to go on a holiday because he was literally like 2 days after a game, still had like full red heart. So I sent him away on a 2-week holiday. 6 days left. Which means Albrecht comes in to play at right back. Technically, Prince could play, but it's a hamstring injury. Don't want a goalkeeper with a hamstring injury playing, especially since he's by far and away our best goalkeeper. So Predut gets to continue in goal for us today. It would be Corcoran, but Corcoran's refusing to sign a new contract. So I feel like he's going to go the same way as Harrington. He's going to leave the club, and we're going to be like, well, tiddlywinks. So Predut starts in goal. Albrecht, Coleman, Heffernan, and O'Connor as our back 4. I think for the last game I had O'Connor set as a wing back on support. Did nothing. He's only good when he plays as a wing back on attack. Fabian and Gluson are going to play in central midfield because other than that we only have Charlie Savage, Tunde, Farnberger, and Emran behind Whelan. That's not true actually. Ornafriti is actually a pretty decent central midfielder. So he has potential to move in there. We are playing away today. I'm not expecting too much. As we saw, in Green scored, I think it was a hat-trick in the last round. Dibish is a good goalkeeper, not exceptional, but he is an international, which is something we don't have. We don't have a full international playing for us. So I'm just, sending the lads out, hoping for the best. Just don't want to get trounced, essentially. And we're also going to keep an eye on the Red Star HJK game, because that'll be important for us if we do make it through the Ferencváros games. I'm not looking forward to if we do make it through this round and then we somehow manage to make it through against Red Star or HJK. I'm not looking forward to who we could potentially be playing after that, because it's, like I said, it's only going to get harder. And Pre-Dude just kind of stood there. He knew the ball was going wide. He's fine. So one thing I would say, FM22, definitely don't try and sign a player when they're on trial. Mami jumped by himself and won a penalty. I feel like this is an uphill battle. I was going to say, I've never seen Pre-Dude take on a penalty. I've never really seen him do an awful lot, to be honest. Like, in general. He was fairly ineffective against Bows. Every time, pretty much every shot that came towards him, I was shitting my pants because he was just not very good. Heffernan is having an absolute mare of a time. I'm going to thrash my arms and say start playing football, because Coleman playing terribly, Heffernan's playing terribly, Tunde is playing terribly, Whelan's playing terribly. I'm going to tell everyone everything's unacceptable. You are the worst. We should have Prince back for the second leg. The second leg is in 6 days. Prince is back in 4. I want to say. I think it was 4 when I checked. But we are picking up from where I was going to say left off. We didn't really leave off anywhere. Emeran does get the ball towards the goal. Ferencváros have had one shot on target, and it was a goddamn penalty. All right, Farnberger is dying. I would, if we could score 1, I'll be happy. Okay, so Heffernan is just having a terrible time. Halsgaard, you are reasonably right-footed. That's more than enough for me. We're going to bring on Luke Keane on the right and Coleman. Whelan. Actually, no, we can't really take. Farnberger is so tired, we have to take him off. So we're making 3 changes. We're going to pump our fists at the players. We've motivated everybody. We are, after changing to attacking, let's go win the game. Ryan Coleman is not having a great time. Couldn't get his head on the end of that one. And Lunkar puts it in the back of the net. Okay, so now we really do need to score. How's the Red Star beating HJK 3-0? Whelan's playing a 5.9. I feel like Whelan having a bad game isn't totally his fault. I think a lot of it might have to do with the fact that he's not really getting an awful lot. Emeran finds Glusen. Glusen was close. Didn't quite find the target. No, Connor's dying. Albrecht is dying. Everyone is dying. I wasn't happy. But I'm gonna shout at some of the players. You let yourself down. You let yourself down. Coleman was below standard. Pre-Dude, potentially his final game on this little mini run of games he's been getting. Forced upon me, obviously. I wouldn't be playing him otherwise. Right, we will be back in just a second for the second leg against Ferencváros at home. Hopefully, we can do better. Also, give centre back his competitive professional debut in a Champions League qualifier. Fantastic. Right, fellas. So the game against Ferencváros is finally upon us again. We had deadline day and we played Dundalk, which we won 3-0. Ryan Coleman did get sent off for a second yellow card, which was a bit of a silly challenge. It was middle of the park, pretty much in the centre circle. I think, yeah, probably was more or less just inside centre circle. Pushed one of the Dundalk players and got a second yellow card, which was very annoying. Nothing happened on deadline day except one of the guys in the under 19s left, and Cian Murphy decided he wants to leave, but he waited till the day that the window closed. He waited till about 2 hours before the window closed. Nordstrand is back from his little holiday. So Albrecht goes back into midfield, and because Cian Murphy has decided that he doesn't want to be a Cork City player anymore, he is sitting this one out. I don't know what other changes I've made because it feels like it's been weeks. But Luke Keane is back in for this game. Onofriti played on the right last time and he scored a pretty decent goal. So hopefully we can turn this around. In the pre-match interview, they asked me, was Colin Whelan going to be starting? Because he does seem to be our go-to man. I was like, well, yeah, of course Colin Whelan is going to play. He has scored 30-something goals this year. Why wouldn't he play? Also, Cahill Heffernan picked up an injury, which was not ideal. So we've lost one of our main two centre-backs. So the partnership we had for the majority of the season is broken up. And Benini, Colin Whelan, beautiful goal over the shoulder. The partnership at centre back that we had, that was pretty much the entirety of the season were played together. The second I get two in the door, one gets injured, which, to be fair, I did originally sign the two guys because we had a suspension. But the guy who we signed from Chelsea hasn't really been involved. Beautiful ball forward for Onofriti. Beautiful last ditch tackle. And then Dibish just kicks it into one of the defenders. I'm going to say, I don't think that's what he intended. Red Star definitely true. They won the first leg 4-1. They're leading this one 1-0. I'm going to say it now. I think they're probably safely through to the next round. So there will definitely be at least one Serbian team in the next round. I don't know if there's any other Serbian teams playing. So that's why I'm saying one. Battle in midfield, we did win it, but didn't find one of our players. But Luke Keane's picked it up, finds Albrecht, puts it through to Whelan. Whelan he's rounding the keeper so many times, but he just can't get the ball in the back of the net. I know he was offside, but it would have been nice if he could get that ball in the back of the net. Also, Paul Kalsberg, forgot that he was playing, but he played quite well in the last one. And Nordstrand's given away a penalty. It's as if Nordstrand doesn't want to be in the Champions League. Mami. Prince actually played against Dundalk as well and played pretty well. So I was quite happy with his performance. Mami does him dirty though. Fabian finds Onofriti. Emil Halsgaard. Fabian. Kalsberg. Beautiful ball through for Luke Keane. Cuts it back. Colin Whelan. We just Arsenaled it into the back of the net. And I'm talking about like when Arsenal were good. When they were starting to not be as good. From when they were good to when they were better than they are now. That period of time is what we're referring to when we say Arsenal. Because they're not as good as they used to be. Dibish had a bit of a look around to see was there anyone standing behind him, which would have been very interesting if one of our players were actually standing behind him. Prince really overcooks his pass, but Nordstrand gets there, doesn't give away a penalty this time. Ball's back with Prince. Prince is dribbling for no reason. Gets to Whelan this time. Gets blocked. Keane gets it across. Colin Whelan puts it in the back of the net. 34th of the season. It is 3-3 on aggregate. 3-1 on the night. And like I said, don't know if away goals are a thing. Probably should have checked that. That could be quite important. Prince. That was very close. I don't think it's crossed the line because we haven't had them. They took a corner instead of getting a goal. So, yeah, fantastic. That really helps. Okay, so things are going well. I'm happy with how many shots you've taken. It's fantastic. We're winning. Our centre back partnership not having a great game. Onofriti isn't having the best games either, but it could be worse. O'Connor's not having an amazing game. Nordstrom gave away a penalty. Yes, is still playing the best for defenders. Interesting. Zakubic, Lonkar, Tokmak. It seems like Ferencváros have come out in the second half and just decided that they're going to be world class and just keep a hold of the ball. Oh, Kevin O'Connor's picked up a knock. What is it? Pulled wrist ligaments. I don't know how. Ryan Coleman. Oh, he's got a bandage on his wrist. That's pretty cool. It's nice to see. I couldn't see it from this angle, but when he ran to celebrate. So we're 4-3 on aggregate, 4-1 on the night. We just need to keep doing what we're doing. Fabian. Prince. Big ball forward. Oh, who was that to? Okay. Ferencváros have the ball deep in their own half, and suddenly they just unleash. Prince does stop me from scoring. Prince has picked up a little bit. He's gotten better. I'm not as disgusted by Prince as I used to be. But then again, we've been struggling quite a lot to find anybody who can step into Prince's position. Goalkeepers are hard to come across. The guy I really wanted, didn't want to join us. It was the guy who played, who's the UCD goalkeeper. I really wanted him. He wasn't having any of it. So that wasn't ideal. And then he went and signed a contract with them. We've also had a bunch of offers out for a guy in Mali who came up in my recommendations because my scouts just seem to think that we have infinite money. But we have there's a beast of a player in one of the academies, I think it is, in Mali, and really wanted to bring him in, and I'm willing to pay money for him, but he refuses to join. He wants to stay at the academy to continue his training, his development. That's the word. He wants to continue his development in Mali, and I'm like, but dude, I will pay you top dollar. He's 16 years old, and the guy would be without a doubt first choice. Like, he would probably walk in and I haven't scouted him for a while, but he hasn't gotten much worse, if at all. We have beaten Ferencváros 4-3 on aggregate. Red Star have beaten HJK 7-3. HJK did have a little bit of a comeback there for a while, but we did overturn our first leg defeat. Kevin O'Connor's out for 3 days with wrist ligament injury. It's going to be out for the UCD game. We've made some more money. We could really do with it. We are hemorrhaging money. Whelan with a quick fire hat trick. That is fantastic. Ireland manager was there to watch. 2 of our players are getting, all because we've made it into Europe now. Stephen Kenny is like, I may just go down to Turner's Cross, watch an old football match. We have a bunch of games getting moved. So, Red Star against Cork City, because that St. Pat's game gets moved, and because the second leg against Red Star, Shamrock gets moved, and because of Cork and St. Pat's, Waterford gets moved, and St. Pat's and Waterford, our game gets moved because we're playing Waterford Dundalk. It's all a bit of a mess. It's all just a little bit of a mess. So we're playing Red Star in. Our first game against Red Star is next week. This is insane. We're gonna have to play UCD in 3 days, Red Star in 3 days. We've managed to keep the league tight, but St. Pat's and Derry have a game in hand, so Derry could be 7 points clear. Currently 6, so I'll take it. There can't be too much further to go. Is there? It's like 4th, or there's a playoff after this next round. We could actually make the group stage. That would be exceptional. Could we do it? I certainly hope we can. But yeah, next episode will be the Red Star games. Hopefully, we come out of that looking pretty. We do have an unnatural amount of games to play. We have the Irish League Cup against Waterford, and soon we've second round of the Senior Challenge Cup against Bowls. We're still playing in the league, Champions League. We're going to be just so busy, and we're not really flush with players, but it's fine. We'll soldier on and do our best. Hopefully make it to the Champions League so we can clear some of this £1 million debt that we have. But if you have enjoyed this episode, do make sure to leave a like, comment and subscribe. How do you think we're going to do against Red Star in the next episode? I'm going to say this is where we fall, and it's going to be by the odd goal. 4-3 on aggregate. I think Red Star are going to go through. We're going to go into the Europa League group stage? Is that how it works? It's been a while since I've gone through Europe this way. But anyway, thank you for watching, fellas. Like, comment, subscribe, share with all your friends, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!